Hi there. I'm Laura, and I'm the curator for A Minute on the Mic. I've crowdsourced a question on Twitter, and our guest today had 60 seconds to answer that question in a recorded response. Our question for this round is, when looking to implement DevOps principles into your company, what are some first steps? Here's what they had to say.
Hi, it is Sascha Rossum. I'm from GitHub here, and today's topic is implementing the first steps of DevOps in your company. So my best advice for this would be to start where it hurts the most and then iterate over pain. So in your process of releasing software, there's usually some steps that are very painful and hurt you every time that you try to release a new feature. And this may be technical, maybe it's merge hell, or maybe it's some type of not automated process, or maybe it's a checklist that keeps going wrong, or maybe it's human processes, right? Maybe you keep throwing things over the wall between QA and dev and such things, right? Whatever it is that is blocking you and is very painful week over week is where I would start with your implementation. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Hi, I'm Waldo from Datadog, and this is Nacho. When implementing DevOps, the first thing I recommend is to encourage a culture of learning. In one team, our motto was, we'll suck less tomorrow. I'm not kidding. Having a practice of blameless or blame-aware incident reviews is very helpful here. Next, inventorying what services you run and dependency mapping, as well as who is responsible, helps identify workloads and ownership. It can also be used to ensure that you don't have gaps in your monitoring and that investments are being made to your highly dependent services. A goal of reducing the scope of releases, making them smaller and more frequent, will go a long way towards driving other changes that you'll want, such as automating deployments and having reliable testing. Finally, you should ensure that alerts go to the people who have the means to fix them. Personally, I think the best way to achieve this is to make engineers the primary on-call for the services that they implement.
Hello, my name is Quintessence, and I'm a tech evangelist with App Dynamics. This session, I'm talking to you about how to implement DevOps in your organization. First things first, do you know what you're looking to solve with DevOps? And the reason this is important is because there's some reason that you don't already have this implemented, and there's something that's changed that's driving this push. It could be any number of things, but knowing what it is will help you scope it out, because DevOps is not a one-size-fits-all. You need to know what and which tools, for example, are right for your implementation, rather than mirroring somebody else's solution, because they might be making completely different decisions on very different criteria from you. Once you have that all handled, now you can start to prioritize and scope what you're looking to solve and do all the reading on DevOps. And there's a lot of reading on DevOps, so you'll need it. Map out a workflow that includes training your current teams about the changes they'll be expected to make, and keep track of your successes and failures, because again, this will be an iterative process, and you'll want to know which changes worked for you so that you can do more of them and which didn't.
You can't just implement a DevOps culture, especially not as an individual contributor. Instead, you need to bring DevOps practices into your organization. You need to just start doing the work. You need to start using the tools. And I know we like to say DevOps isn't tools, but you can't really DevOps without tools. I would recommend the first thing you do, either individually or as a team, is implement some sort of Kanban task tracking and make sure you're aware of all of the work that you're doing. And that way you can look at that and you can see what's toil that can be automated away, and you can see what's valuable work. And then you can then say, okay, here's this toil. How do we automate this away? What tools can we use to automate this away? And kind of work your way up from there.
Thanks for listening to A Minute on the Mic. If you want to post a question or vote on the next round, keep an eye on Twitter for hashtag A Minute on the Mic. You can also view our archives at aminuteonthemic.com. Before you go, remember, you've got questions, they've got answers. Take care, everybody.